Alright you guys, ZFR back here once again, and in this video guys, we just have to talk about this Last of Us Part 2 situation. So, for those of you who haven't been keeping up with gaming news and stuff over the past couple days, there's been this big report that came out via Jason Schreier. I can't say his name right, however you want to say it, but via him, you guys all know who that is. There's been this big report that Last of Us, the first Last of Us, mind you, from, back 2013-14, is getting a PS5 remake. And now I do want to take this moment to point out that a remake and a remaster are two very different things. A remaster is pretty much when you just boost the graphics and stuff. A remake is like when you overhaul the game, the gameplay, maybe even add or change some stuff in the story, possibly. Now, we don't have any confirmed details about this, so we don't know to what degree this remake is going to be, but you can almost certainly bet it's going to upgrade the gameplay up to at least the level of Last of Us Part 2, right? So, yeah, a lot of people are talking about this, a lot of people are concerned about this, saying, we don't need the remake and stuff like that. Now look, I do admit the idea of Last of Us Part 1 with Last of Us Part 2's gameplay does sound pretty good, because a lot of us weren't exactly crazy about the story for Last of Us Part 2, but the gameplay was fantastic. So yeah, to be honest, I don't know. Like, I get where people are coming from, saying that it's too early for that or whatever, and that, paying for the game once again after, we've had two versions of The Last of Us release. We've had, the DLC bundle versions and stuff come out, the definitive editions. We've had the PS4 remaster. We've had Last of Us Part 2 come out, and we're still waiting on a next-gen upgrade for that, I believe, right? So, yeah, like, there's a lot of versions of Last of Us stuff coming out, and people are kind of just, like, people aren't feeling this thing with the next-gen consoles, where it seems like they're starting to really milk certain series and milk each game for everything they can get from the players and stuff. So yeah, I kind of feel people on this. Now, don't get me wrong. If they do remaster Last of Us, I mean, here's the thing for me. I'm a little worried. Okay, because let's just keep it real. Let's just keep it real. We weren't that crazy about the story for Last of Us Part 2. For those of you who don't know, The Last of Us has a HBO series coming out soon that's going to be led by Neil Druckmann and I believe somebody else. I can't remember the other director's name. I'll have to look that up. I plan on doing a whole video about that, so I'll have all that information once I do that. But pretty much one of the big things here is one of the big concerns here in the background is there's been rumors going around that this HBO show is going to kind of, go down more of the Last of Us Part 2 route, more of the SJW type stuff, feminist type stuff. And I hate to bring all that into this, because I mean, man, we've beat that dead horse for quite a while now. But it does seem like that's going to be an element on the HBO show. And the word on the street is, or at least speculation is, that, once again, speculation, so take it with a massive grain of salt. Not confirmed whatsoever, people. But word on the speculation on the street is that this remake may release alongside the show and kind of move away from what Last of Us Part 1 was. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think they would be crazy enough to completely change the story and overhaul everything we love about Last of Us Part 1. But let's just keep it real. We know we know Neil Druckmann, all right, at least a little bit, and what he likes to do. He likes to go big or go home, right? Obviously with Last of Us Part 2. Say what you want about the guy, but that's one thing I can say that I kind of feel about his work. He likes to go big or go home. So, with that being said, I can't imagine them remastering Last of Us Part 1 this soon and not adding in or changing certain things. I can't expect them to do a remaster without any new content in there. There's definitely going to be new content. I wouldn't even be surprised if the game ends up being longer. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and here's the thing. I wouldn't necessarily be against that, but I don't know, man. A lot of us just, and I gotta make another video about Last of Us 2, because I want to really update my opinion on Last of Us Part 2. I don't hate Last of Us Part 2 for people who are watching and wondering. And matter of fact, I said it was a pretty good game. I had fun with it, but the story just wasn't my cup of tea. With a lot of the connective tissue and how everything linked together, I just wasn't feeling it. I said this in my review, and and you'll have to go back and watch that to get a better explanation for this. But I said back in my review for Last of Us Part 2, I'm actually one of the few people who wish the game maybe was a little bit longer, because I felt like a lot of characters and stuff from that game needed more screen time and stuff. And I'm not talking about Joel. I mean, well, I'm kind of talking about Joel, but out of all of them, he's not as close to the top of that list as you guys might think. Abby being the character at the top of the list needed way more character development and time in that story, and I felt like her character gap. But once again, I'll save all that for another video. That's not this video. But my point is, I imagine that Last of Us Part, I just gotta wonder, because you gotta remember, Neil Druckmann didn't lead Last of Us Part 1's development. I just want to throw that out there. I mean, he was definitely the lead creative designer, but there was a director over him, and Bruce Straley, was it? So yeah, I'm just saying his vision might be a little bit different for the game than the one we originally had. So, once again, I don't think he's going to change a crazy amount of stuff or anything. I don't think he's going to ruin the game or anything like that. I mean, look, I've been surprised before, but after Last of Us Part 2, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn a new leaf and go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt of, kind of taking people's criticism about Last of Us Part 2 into account a little bit. At least a little. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this, maybe this is his way of saying, all right, for all you that kind of, weren't happy about Last of Us Part 2 and stuff and wanted more Joel and Ellie, here you go. I'm going to give you a little bit more Joel and Ellie with a remake of Last of Us Part 1, new gameplay, better upgraded gameplay, graphics, combat sections, maybe a few new scenes and stuff thrown in there. If that's the case, look, guys, I'm not going in front. I'm a Last of Us fan, all right? I really am. If that's what they do, I'll give it a try. I'll give it a fair shot. But, I also do want to say, but let's just prepare ourselves just in case, we gotta keep our minds open to the fact that this remake might come in a way that we won't exactly be happy about. It might come in a way that we love. I see a lot of people shutting down the remake already really hard, and I don't know, if it comes out and it's good, listen, gaming's kind of dry right now. I'm not really going to complain. As a matter of fact, I've been rethinking about, I'm tongue-tied now. I've been thinking about replaying Last of Us Part 2 anyway. So, I mean, honestly, if it comes out, or hopefully it doesn't take super long to come out if it is, but you know, if it comes out, I'll give it a try, sure. I'll even tell you guys what I think about it. But you know, I'm hoping like that a lot of the criticism for Last of Us Part 2 didn't go over everybody's head. Now, don't get me wrong. There's people out there that love Last of Us Part 2. There's people that hate it. There are people who are kind of in between like me, who have really mixed feelings on the game. And look, don't get me wrong. Are there some trolls and stuff that like just have nothing positive to say about the game and don't really have any positive feedback whatsoever? They just want to talk trash on the game because you know, the story went in a weird way. It might have some kind of, you know, SJW stuff mixed in there, just a little bit. You know, sure, there are some people who went a little bit overboard with all that stuff. And, you know, especially the people who were trying to sit there and review the game without playing it. But at the same time, I hope that, you know, those people aren't getting mixed up with the actual fans who played the game and, you know, weren't happy with the direction it went in. You know, I'm hoping that maybe, just maybe, this could be Neil Druckmann taking a step back and just, you know, testing some stuff out to see if he can, you know, hit that sweet spot for the fan base and see if he can see where we stand on a lot of stuff. You know, now, once again, it might just be a money grab. It might just be for the heck of it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about what I would like to see from this if it does have to be a thing. Now, as for the camp, there are people that just don't want the remake whatsoever. Look, I agree Last of Us Part 1 is fine how it is. I agree that, you know, we don't really need this. But once again, if we get it, for me, it's personally not going to be the worst thing ever if we get it. Although I see how it could have some negative effects in the future. Like for instance, right off the bat, one piece of news going around mixed up in all of this is Days Gone 2. Apparently, Ben Studio pitched Days Gone 2 to Sony and they rejected it. And a lot of people are not happy about this because Days Gone, for people who didn't play it, Days Gone had problems. It definitely had a lot of problems. And we're probably going to do another video about this too. I know I've said that a lot in this video, but what can I say? A lot of content to be made, huh? But Days Gone was a good game, don't get me wrong, and it had its problems too, but at the same time, Days Gone had a lot of potential. Like, I mean, a lot of potential. They didn't really go over, they focused more on like the characters and stuff in the first one and kind of their story and you know, just really developing them instead of, you know, the whole outbreak survival type thing. But I think Days Gone 2 could have a lot of potential to be something really special if they focus more on the infected in that game. So yeah, hopefully Sony rethinks that. I'm not sure if Days Gone 2 is strapped completely, if we're not getting it at all now. Once again, I only saw a small mentioning of it in the report that I was reading about the Last of Us Part 2 remake. So hopefully, you know, there's still something there. 'Cause I really want to see a Days Gone 2, but you know, as of right now, the ideal's been rejected. So I mean, we'll see how that plays out. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. But yeah, overall, this whole Last of Us remake thing has definitely sparked a lot of discussion. There's definitely a lot of concern going on with it and stuff like that. And I do see the concern where these developers have been kind of pushing their luck over the past couple years in terms of remaking games over and over, you know, milking different franchises and stuff like that, instead of, you know, coming up with new creative ideas, all these remasters and stuff. I see where people are coming from. I want more new IPs, and to see newer franchises expanded on. Like, we're getting Horizon expanded on. That's going to be one. But I would like to see a lot more stuff like that. But at the same time, I mean, look, these developers are going to do what they're going to do. And until people get really serious about putting their foot down with them and potentially voting with their wallet, there's not much point in griping about it. So yeah, overall, I'm going to kind of keep an open mind in this situation, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, tell me what you guys think about the Last of Us Part 2 remake. Well, not Last of Us Part 2 remake, Last of Us remake, down in the comment section below. This was kind of an informal video. Sorry about that. It wasn't really planned. I just kind of sat down after seeing the news and just want to talk to you guys about how I was feeling about it and stuff. So yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking. Like I said, I want to make another video about Last of Us Part 2, kind of talking about how I'm currently feeling about the game, almost a year after its release. So yeah, we'll be talking about that pretty soon here. We'll try to get that video out before it hits the 1 year mark. So yeah, keep an eye out for that in the coming weeks. But anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thanks for all the support. Hit that subscribe button for more great Last of Us and gaming content right now. And don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help. Anyway, thanks once again, and I will see you guys on the next one. ZFR out.